If you thought yesterday's Trump inauguration was the greatest show on earth, wait until you see the three biggest spectacles that Trump will preside over in his 4-year term. We've put three of them together, starting 4th of July 2026, the 250th birthday of the United States. It's a year-long birthday party that begins on the 4th of July 2026. During his campaign, President Trump promised to throw a spectacular birthday party to honor the US's 250th anniversary. He will assemble a White House task force named Salute to America 250. Former Presidents George Bush and Barack Obama and their spouses are part of the celebrations. Celebration number 2, the US returns to the moon sometime in 2026. Very interestingly, the US is the only country to have sent astronauts to the moon. The last astronauts who walked on the moon were in fact in December 1972, and America plans to send astronauts back there by 2026 or 2027. And if NASA is not up to the task, they now have competition. Elon Musk's SpaceX. That's event number 2 for you. And finally, event number 3, the Los Angeles Olympics, 14th of July 2028. Trump has brushed aside any talk of moving the games out of Los Angeles because of the wildfires. He plans to visit LA on Friday and to announce the start of a mission to rebuild the fire-damaged city. Now, we're going to talk about these 3 big events and what they could look like in the months ahead. And Donald Trump is a showman. My colleague Karthik Malhotra is here in the studio with me. Ambassador Meera Shankar continues to remain with us. Karthik, Trump the showman, big events coming up on his calendar. How is he going to look at these? A man landing on the moon after half a century, 250th anniversary of the United States, and of course the LA Olympics.
Yeah, so I think if you take them sequentially, I believe, Sandeep, there's going to be definitely a quiver full of wins that Donald Trump will want ahead of 4th of July 2026. Right. Now, what are these wins going to be? As I see it right now, inflation is continuing to be sticky in the US. The economy hasn't been growing at the same clip that Americans would want it to grow. Now, for a large economy, obviously, it's a large elephant. Getting it to move fast is difficult. But I think inflation is something that Donald Trump will want to tame. He will want the jobless claims to go down. He will want economic wins when it comes to either tariffs that he imposes on other countries or putting in more dollars into manufacturing, which leads to more jobs. There has to be a story that Donald Trump would want to write home about before 4th of July 2026. And that story should definitely be a story better than the other guys who've been in office before him, including himself as the 45th president of the United States.
Absolutely. Well put there, Karthik. The fact that Donald Trump would want to write a different story before the 4th of July 2026. Ambassador Shankar, 4th of July 2026, the start of the United States 250th anniversary, which begins on the 4th of July 26 and goes on till the 4th of July 2027. And Donald Trump just happens to be the president right there. What do you think his biggest achievement is going to be, the one that he would want to really showcase a little less than 2 years from today?
Well, I think on immigration, he's acting fast and he wants to act speedily. So I think that is something which he might be able to show some success. Inflation and tariffs and so on are issues which are more intractable. Inflation can't be controlled merely by ordering that government agencies do something about it. Secondly, tariffs will also involve negotiations with other countries, and that would also come into play. So these are issues which may not necessarily work the way Trump wants. So I would expect that walking out of the climate accord, because that is something he had promised. The second is on immigration, especially deporting illegal immigrants. He could do that and show that he's doing something. And then rebuilding Los Angeles, or at least getting that started, I think that would play well. The thing is that it would involve a degree of bipartisanship, because California is a democratic state with Gavin Newsom as the governor.
Yes.
And they would need to work together. This time when the wildfires were there, Trump was just criticizing Gavin Newsom.
Yes.
So they would have to avoid working at cross purposes. And that would be a good thing for America, just as the fact that he has included, representatives of former presidents from the Democratic Party
Yes.
in the committee for the celebration of 250 years
Yes.
is a good thing, because bipartisanship for national issues and events
Yes.
is something which the US has lost in recent years.
Absolutely. So these events could be a way of getting the United States together
showman.
again. And we just heard it from Ambassador Shankar and my colleague Karthik Malhotra, the fact that the 4th of July, this just 18 months from now, could be the deadline for Donald Trump's Make America Great Again movement. And that explains the reason why he is clearly the president in a hurry. The hundreds of legislations that he's planned to unleash on all of us, on the world, and of course all of those executive orders that he signed in Trumpian flourish. He's signed those orders and thrown the pens into the audience, but that's us trying to make sense of one of the most important political events of our lifetimes, the second presidency of President Donald Trump. Thank you very much, Ambassador Shankar, and my colleague Karthik Malhotra, for joining us.